You messed up and you feel bad for it. You promised yourself you would never do it again. You promised everyone else you'd never do it again. If this is you, lock in. I'm going to teach you how to stop repeating mistakes. This isn't just for people in relationships. It's for anyone who's tired of apologizing to someone else or because they keep disappointing themselves. Because whether you keep hurting your partner or you keep breaking promises to yourself, the solution is the same. And of course, I'm going to break this down for you to understand. We're going to use 3 steps. Find, build, and prove. I don't care what you did, but mistakes do not become patterns by accident. Let's get into it. First things first, you gotta find. When something happens, when you mess up, you focus on the mistake. You beat yourself up. You say, crap, I'm the worst person ever. But no, you have to stop focusing on the mistake. You have to start focusing on the pattern. Every repeated mistake has something feeding it. This thing that you think keeps happening on accident isn't happening on accident. Something is triggering it. For example, in most relationships, it is very common to lie to your partner and they catch you in the act and you apologize profusely. I'm sorry, it'll never happen again. And then they ask you and you ask yourself, okay, why did I lie about this? Wrong question. You should be trying to figure out, what were you trying to avoid? Were you afraid of conflict? Afraid they leave you? Or were you ashamed to just tell the truth? The lie was not the root cause. That is not the problem here. The problem was the fear. And that is what you need to figure out. Same thing with yourself. You tell yourself you're committed. You're going to go to the gym. You say you're going to go on Sunday. Sunday comes, you never go. You say you're going to go on Monday. Monday comes, you never go. On the surface, what do you think the problem is? You might say, oh crap, I'm not too motivated to go. That's not the problem. The problem is you are relying on the motivation and you need a routine. And depending on whatever the situation you're in is, that's not the point. I need you to stop focusing on the symptom. I need you to find the source because you cannot change a pattern that you never identified. If you take lying, for example, you're trying to avoid something. So you figure out what it is you're trying to avoid. You deal with that specifically because lying isn't the problem. The problem is you're avoiding something. So the first thing first here, you have to find the pattern. Once you find the pattern, we can go on to the next one. You have to build. This is where everyone fails. You make a promise instead of building a system. Let's go back to the lying. Let's say you hide things from your partner because you let it just get too far. And after the confrontation, you just tell your partner, okay, I'm sorry. I'll communicate better. Okay. What changes? What changes? You just said you were going to do something, but what about it are you actively doing? Here's a very good suggestion. Every Friday night, you and your partner sit down and you have a conversation. You sit down for 20 minutes and you ask each other, is there anything we've been avoiding? Sometimes you will have things to say, sometimes you have nothing to say, but the point is a system has now been established. You have built something to work with. Now communication and openness isn't something you rely on based on memory. It's not something you just say you're gonna do. It's something that is scheduled and something that is put to practice. Same thing with yourself. Examples, you tell yourself that you're going to stop scrolling at night. I need to stop scrolling before bed. It's bad for me. It keeps me up awake late at night. All you're doing is hoping. You're not taking any actual step and you need to. That's the whole point of the second phase. You need to build a system, something that will literally put you in a position to succeed. But you just literally cannot fail. So instead of hoping for more discipline, I need you to take action. Literally put your phone in another room. Set a screen time so you stop getting notifications past a certain point. And you realize that you didn't even need to become more disciplined. You just changed the environment. You built upon what you already have, so things favor you and you don't have to over-explain yourself. You don't have to rely on your own willpower. Systems will always beat good intentions. You can say you want to do something. You can say you want to keep doing better. But if you don't have the environment or the systems or the building blocks to back that up, I got to be the guy to tell you, you will stay stuck. So do not promise a better future to your partner or to yourself. Build one. Third, you have to prove. This is important. This is where the trust comes back in yourself, in your partner, in your life. Trust isn't rebuilt by apologies. Anyone can apologize. Anyone can use words. It is rebuilt by consistency. We need to see actions. So you mess up with your partner, you mess up in your relationship, and they ask you, how do I know you have actually changed? You don't say because I promised or because I apologized. Again, anyone can use words. You will literally tell them, quote after me, you do not have to trust my words, but I want you to watch what I'm going to do consistently. Not only is that going to give you extra brownie points because you said that so bravely, holy crap, but you will now create the impression that you are going to do things differently and you have to realize that you need to do things differently. After you say that, you let your actions do the talking. The same thing with yourself. If I had $1 for every time someone said their New Year's resolution, this year will be different. Don't believe your words. Watch your habits. Watch your own actions. Build the trust in yourself to do those things you said you were going to do. Your future self should not even trust you. You shouldn't trust your own promises to yourself. Your future self should trust your consistency. That is how real change happens, people. You need to remember, people don't stop trusting you because you made a mistake. Mistake is not the problem. People stop trusting you when you let that mistake become a pattern. You repeat it time and again and do nothing about it. So here's the framework one more time. If you're dealing with a problem, the very first thing you need to do is find the pattern, because the problem is not the problem. There is something triggering and causing the problem. Figure that out. And then secondly, you need to build a system. Make it so impossibly hard for you to fall back into it. Don't just think, don't just say you're gonna. Literally change your environment if you have to. Forcefully do something that removes you from being in there and face that thing. And thirdly, you have to prove the change. Prove the change not just to the people around you, but to yourself. If you give yourself actual evidence to back up what you're saying you're gonna do, you will believe it and you will change. Anyone can say anything. Regret is saying, oh my God, I feel bad about this. But growth as an individual, I changed something. The goal is to not become someone who never makes mistakes, my friends. The goal is to become someone who doesn't waste one. You learn, you adapt, and you grow. I'm Cam. I could not be happier teaching people how to be better people, because that's all life is about. Living to the fullest and accomplishing the things you want to accomplish. If any of that still doesn't make sense, book a sesh, link in bio. I'll see you in the next one. This thing that you think keeps thinks